Thank you, Len. Okay, so now it's time for our featured speaker. And who here knows that we have a tradition with the featured speaker? What do we do to speaker here? That's right. We send our featured speaker to the back of the room. So Rod Brown, you can stand up and walk all the way to the back and keep walking way out there. And if it rains, unfortunately, so that's the way we do it here at GNA. That way you can make that grand entrance, right? Yeah. Okay, so we met Rod Brown several months ago. He started actually coming to the San Jose Silicon Valley GNA event here, and he's just been a really nice guy, tremendous pay-it-forward guy. And what I really liked about him is he took the time to get to know me, Eric, and the rest of the ambassador crew, and we didn't even know what he did. It wasn't any concern what we did until we had our one-on-one recently about a month ago in San Bruno. Rod came all the way to San Bruno to pay it forward to that chapter, and have a one-on-one with Eric and I there. After that point, we're like, man, you know, you have a really interesting story, Rod, and we'd like to hear your story here at the GNA. I'm going to tell you a little bit about a little prelude here before we get coming in here. So Rod's going to share his personal story of his journey to ultimately finding out what he wants to do when he grows up. His message is simple to students that life is about choices and to keep on dreaming of the possibilities. So Rod is now starting his third year with his organization and is currently taking action to reach other students and families outside of his community. So on that note, I'd like you all to please rise to your feet. Please rise to your feet and give a big warm GNA welcome to Rod Brown! Personal favor. All right. Oh, let's see. Okay. Woo! Just a second here. What's my time? I get about 20-25 minutes. Yeah. 5 minutes. Okay.
Give it the time. I like it.
There we go. Wow. Well, choices that young students make during high school. My involvement with my organization and choices I've made, you know, I share my story, and I want to take a moment to share my story with you. So, real quickly, Elias and I and Eric, we did chat about a month ago in San Bruno, and Eric, Rod, we need you to speak. When are you going to speak? I don't know. So, you know, we got to get you to speak. My first reaction was like, yes, I want to speak. But then again, I don't think I want to speak. You know, I guess I'm nervous. Okay? And I want to start off with saying that I love speaking to large groups of people. I love speaking to large groups of people. And I want everybody to join me and say this to make me feel better. Everybody, I love speaking to large groups of people. 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 All right, there we go. I feel better now. All right. Yeah. Well, speaking, I went ahead and I Google searched speaking. And I found that speaking is a kind of a form of leverage. And, you know, every one of us, we all have an opportunity, or we seek to share a story, whether we're consulting or business, we're sharing one-on-one with people. If you have a chance to speak, you have a chance to share your story amongst many people. Today we have 32 people. I'm speaking to 32 people. I'm leveraging the 25 minutes I have to share my story to 32 people in this room. And it's being recorded. And it's going to spread, you know, the number is going to spread there.
You're going viral, Rod.
So I am going viral. Yeah. So anyways, another form of leverage, I have demonstrations here.
Oh my God!
I can share that this bar is a form of leverage. And I tell you the truth,
I'm going to perhaps keep this bar. It's going to be with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because this bar, in a way, had perhaps had an effect in changing my life. And I want to share that with you. But before I share you with this bar, I want to go back a little bit about, about myself. So I want to kind of have an exercise and ask a few questions to someone. I wanted 2 guesses. I want to ask someone if they can guess my background, my race, my ethnicity. If I have 2 guesses, does anyone kind of guess my race? Those of you who would not know, but I want 2 guesses. Anyone share the challenge? What your guess would be?
Filipino.
Filipino. That's a common one. But no. One more guess.
Anybody, come on, we know the answer, we can't answer.
German?
German! German!
No. I did hear Hispanic. No.
German.
However, those are the common questions I get, and for a while, when I was, I was born in Ganado, Arizona. I was born in Arizona on the Navajo Indian Reservation. And just to kind of have an idea of where I was from, I want to draw the Arizona State, New Mexico, Colorado, and then we have Utah. Okay. Has anyone ever traveled to this territory?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here, the 4 Corners is a great land reserved for Native American Navajo Indian Reservation. That's where I was from. I was born in a park, Ganado, Arizona, a very small town. And that's where I'm from. And then as I later on moved away, I moved a couple of places. Next one would be Flagstaff, Arizona, kind of here. That's where I kind of grew up. And then from there, Gallup, New Mexico. Kind of share with you back as far as my land, where I came from. I turned 28 years old. February 16th was my birthday, and that's 10 years. 10 years has passed by since I graduated high school. It goes by quick, and I have to say that I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do after high school. But I have an idea, or actually I found my path of what I want to do, and that's kind of where I want to share with you about how I became working with students and through their as far as high school goes. So graduated high school 2002. I went to school. Now that I'm working with high school students, usually amongst students we always want to know, what do you want to do after high school? Is that the right question you ask a student? What are you going to do after high school? Well, I remember asking myself this same question, and I had narrowed it down to three areas. One is I wanted to pursue and get into computers. Electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, kind of go towards schooling in that way. I didn't take that path. The next choice was automotive. I enjoyed and I had a hobby on working on cars. So I pursued automotive technology, and I went to school working on cars. And the last choice I had was in business. Small business ownership. Being a high school student, I had to summer school jobs, summertime jobs, and I can share you this story, which I didn't plan on sharing, but I'm going to say it anyways. In high school, I was working at a pizza place. I was a busboy, washing dishes, working on pizzas, clearing off the table as a restaurant like this. It was a small family-owned restaurant. And I remember one time where employees are gathering in the back. You probably see them out here gathering. And the back door opened up and a family had walked in. And all of a sudden, the atmosphere changed. Everybody started being productive, started to be busy. I learned later on that they were the owners. They were family. They owned this pizza place. And that really opened my eyes into business ownership and running and operating a small business. And later down that line, it's like, that's something I would want to pursue. Later on down the line. And so that's kind of where I'm at now, as far as business goes 10 years later. So now, I'm going to go back to the bar. When I graduated high school, I went and chose to get into the automotive industry. I went to school, specifically focused in Volkswagen, and I moved from Gallup, Phoenix, Arizona. I went to school and I went to automotive. I enjoyed it. It was a hobby of mine, but I knew I didn't want to do it for the rest of my life. And then from there, I found a job in California, in Southern California, and then I relocated up here in Northern California in 2004. Bob Lewis Volkswagen, and I began branching out and really living life. As a young person, I turned 21 in this area, and I was really I had a job and I was having a good time, as a young person would normally do. And that only lasted for 3 years, my time in automotive. The reason why, well, I got more goodies here. Because of this. This is a 17 millimeter, it's a large bolt. This bolt had an effect, not this particular one, but one like this, had an impact in changing my life. This here created and injured my back, my lower back, while I was doing a job. And Saturday, in March 2007, I was working on the car. The customer was waiting. It was right before lunchtime. There was a service, a repair I needed to get done. And I went ahead and figured I can get this done by myself. Big mistake. This changed my life. And from there, I had been suffering from lower back pain, narrowing disc, bulging, MRI scans. We almost had back surgery. I kind of recovered and moved on. But even to this day, I am very careful with what I do physically and as far as my back goes. And how this kind of comes into play with leverage with this pipe. You want to guess so far? This would have kind of saved my back. I was too lazy to walk 20 feet to get this bar from my toolbox so I could do the job that I was supposed to do correctly. And it was during this small movement that I'm on the ground, I'm pushing, I'm pulling, I'm lifting, and all of a sudden, sharp pain goes down my legs. And it's a story, it's a true story I share. It happened. It was a kind of a choice I made, cutting corners. But I can't take it back. I have to learn from that, and I share that story with some folks, students, on the choices we make. And when Elias and Eric had told me to speak, I had no idea what I wanted to talk about. I had to choose some topics, and when I went back into my Google search and speaking, one of the things I found is that speak what you know. Speak of what you. If you want to speak on topics that you kind of share, every day. And that kind of led to me choosing a choice that young students make during high school. I work with high school students and teenagers with my organization called Circle of Neighbors, and through there, I have an impact on helping students make the choices that they're going to have after high school. And so from there, And how I got started with this organization was when I moved to Denver. When I had my back injury, it was in 07, 08, 09, I moved to Denver to where I can move back in with family. My family was a big support in my recovery and, kind of getting back on my feet. I didn't know where I was going to start. What am I going to do, Rod? What's next? My sister, my mother kind of pushed that I went back to school. Went back to college. I really felt that I didn't want to continue. At that point, I really felt that I didn't want to go back to school. But shortly after that conversation, I was introduced to a gentleman named John Fox, who was a consultant within my organization. And we had chatted and sat down about, brainstorming what I was going to do next. Rod, what are your passions? The same questions I ask to students, and I try to navigate or try to work with students about planning. As a student, as a young student, they're going to make a decision whether they plan for it or not, what they want to do after high school. It kind of felt like I was starting all over again. Back in high school, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to do next? And at that time, I really felt that I want to get into business now. And I started exploring business and pursuing business opportunities. However, I decided that I wanted to kind of be more involved in helping students make those choices. Shortly after that, I talked to John and I asked John, how can I get involved with the organization? I certainly feel that I want to get on board and help you do what you do. And that was how I got started. I got started in Denver in 2010, and that brought me back to the Bay Area. And it's going into my third year. The first 2 years in business was a learning curve. The reason why was because for me, I had to grow as an individual. I had to get out of my comfort zone. I had to push myself to be comfortable talking and speaking to people. Before that, I was a mechanic, but just machine and cars, cars and computers. You give me a car, give me some, the diagnostic tools, I'm happy. And that's where I was before. But I had a change of direction, and I wanted to continue working with high school students, because before that, I was involved with youth groups and organizations, YMCA, few youth groups. I really felt that I wanted to continue working with the youth, and stepping into college planning, college funding it just kind of lined up and like, okay, well, I want to get involved. What do I do? What do I do? So a transition from being an employee and working on cars and machines to now being self-employed, entrepreneur, business, marketing, sales, phone calling, networking, people skills. This was a world that was new to me. It was, I wanted to do it. For the last 2 years, I've been working on myself to push myself. We all in this room have backgrounds in business, and I think you guys can relate in business ownership and getting out of their comfort zones. And as a young student, as a young person, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm new to the business world. I see myself as a student to business and entrepreneur. I seek and I look up to mentors. Well, mentors and coaches pull me up. I feel I have an opportunity to reach behind me and pull up the next generation, high school students and teenagers, and have them think outside of their own comfort zone, about their future, about college. If it's not college, then what is it? And the 5 choices that I've narrowed it down to students when I talk to them kind of leads into my topic. And my time I'm doing good on time, so So, anyways, I want to share with you that there are over 5,000 colleges or higher education in the U.S. country. 5,000 colleges and about 27,000 high schools in this area. And I got my work cut out for me. Because there's a lot of high school students, and if colleges are still in business, I'm still in business. That's kind of how I see it. And I feel that I'm going to continue to grow and become an expert in this industry and really narrow it down to a craft on where right now I see myself as kind of a salesman. I'm kind of taking orders. I'm kind of marketing myself. Well, I feel that in the near future that I'm going to be kind of taking orders. It's kind of how I feel, shortly. Right now I'm outside marketing myself, kind of getting my name. I'm kind of waiting for, business to come to me as far as taking orders, and that would be a great place for me as an individual. That, I guess, keep on target here. I was not supposed to say that. So, anyways, the 5 choices after high school I share with students.
That was good.
One foremost is that students, they do not go to college. So we have, no college, which is fine. Students, college is not for everyone, but college, it certainly has some great benefits. College experience for a young person to pursue. I wish I could have experienced college, but my role is not to literally get every student to college, but my role is to figure out how and what they want to do outside of school. But these are the choices I share with students about the options that they have. No college? Fine. Well, you're going to get a job or you're going to get into business. And there is simply why I'm here, ultimately. Yes, I'm looking for students who want to pursue their education, but I'm also here to expand my business profile, my business network, to where I can get students into jobs or into business without going to college. Second choice is community college. We have community college as an option for students getting their feet wet, 2 years, maybe transfer later. That's a choice that students could make, and we can explore those options. Where I can help the students the most is in their college decision. Our main goal as an organization is getting students free college money that they don't have to pay back. There's thousands and thousands of scholarship funding money out there. And we as an organization kind of know where to get it. And that's kind of where I come in from. It's getting and working with students, taking them by the hand, keeping them accountable, putting a plan in place to where I can position that students to receive thousands of dollars in free college money. There's a lot more to that, but that's kind of where, an option for students. Trade school, vacation schools is option for students. That's the route I took in my automotive technology pursuing as far as careers and education goes. Very successful. It's an option for students. And the last one is the military. The military, the 5 branches of the military are Air Force, Army, Coast Guard, Navy, and the Marines. Those are the choices I share with students about what they're going to do. Process of elimination, hearing parents' goals, hearing the students' goals, their objective, getting the parents So those are the 5. I have the 5 choices I share with students. And there's a lot more to this. Being up here and talking, I just kind of ideas are bouncing and I'm looking at the time. And, so to recap, there's so much more to this. One of the things I share with students and parents that this is a fact-finding mission. Parents and students, they want to know the answers. They want to know, what about this, what about that? They think I can predict the future and say this is what's going to happen. It's a fact-finding mission. That's why I'm here. If you want to go to college, well, that's why I'm here. If you don't want to go to college, that's why I'm here. How can I help you as far as a parent? Help your student be accountable to a plan that we put in place to where they can position themselves to literally kind of be a young, I guess, a path to making their parents feel proud, And the last one, also I want to share that mistakes are okay. Students and parents, mistakes and change your minds, and mistakes happen and mistakes are okay. So as a student, don't feel bad if you kind of steer away from your goals and your plans. Mistakes happen, but minimize your mistakes in planning. And in closing, because I have 15 seconds left. Wow. In closing,
he's good. Yeah, he is.
There is going to be. I'm glad I had a chance to speak. It's my first time speaking in public, on camera, and
it's really good. Yeah, come on now. Yeah.
I'm going to hold this recording and I'm going to share it to my kids and my grandkids. And I'm going to use this as a foundation to where this was my first speaking engagement ever recorded. And to see a transition years down the road on, on seeing like this was Rod when he first started. Now this is Rod. Speaking to hundreds and thousands of students. That's all I'm going to share. I enjoy my time here, and I love to have a question. Yes.
Yes. What would be the ideal age, like 13, 11, that you would want to talk to the student and the parents?
6th and 12th grade students are my focus. 6th and 12th grade students. The younger ones, we can start working with them because we're working with their siblings. And 6th and 12th grade students are my focus. Students who've already graduated or who are still in college, we can still help them, find how you want to work with it. Another question.
How do you get funded for grants?
Very great question. So, I just remembered one thing I want everybody to write down. Rod's Neighbors. If you Google search me, Rod's Neighbors, my Facebook page, we have a great PowerPoint online presentation that I get my parents and students to view before I come and visit and talk to them. And it kind of lays the foundation of what I do. And the reason why I didn't go down my presentation is because I leveraged that video to lay the foundation for my students. And that question certainly is asked in the presentation. Rod's Neighbors. Google search me, like my Facebook. There's a presentation that will answer questions. And I know there are a lot more questions on how we work with students. And every family, they come from different various backgrounds, income levels, different goals, different dreams. For me as an individual, that's kind of where I specialize in. And tell me your situation. tell me what are your goals, what are your dreams. I'm asking questions, I'm gathering, gathering the information to where we can, where's your destination? A map, a GPS, that's kind of where I look as myself. I'm going to get you to plan B. But first, let's find out where you're at now. And, as far as parents goes, where have you been? What's your background and where you're at? Okay, well, where do you want to go? I'm going to get you there. If you're worried about the money, don't worry about the money. I'm going to get you the money. It's kind of with confidence I can say to parents and students, if they want to pursue their education, want to go to college. But if it's not college, that's okay. There's many resources and ways how I can help every family and student that's about it.
So is it grants?
That's all I read too. Yes.
So through grants? Yes.
Free college money, grants, scholarships, endowment funds.
Okay.
There's a lot of resources out there, and I kind of navigate and take you through that.
Do you work with 30 and 40-year-olds, or just high school?
Adult students, parents who want to go to school, yes. I can say I work with everybody. I can work with everybody. But usually in business, we want to narrow down our target market. And specifically on my target market, 6th and 12th grade students. Families are older, much older, and want to go to school. There's certainly a way in how we can help and resource and get them what they want to do.
So the best people, if we keep our ears open, would the best people to connect you are school district board member, so that we can also help you connect with the right people.
6th and 12th grade students, nonprofit organizations. I work with students outside of the school districts. I hopefully would have my chance to get into the school districts as a kind of a spokesperson, but we will certainly talk to me more because I have a lot more to share. But my time is up, and I'm glad to have had a chance to speak. Thank you.
Well, stay here.
We were talking about we're testing the streaming video. We didn't actually put the link out, but our lead ambassador, Chef Cindy, who can see us out there because we're actually testing this, she just sent me a Facebook message saying that she was watching me speak. So I think she may be asking me to speak in Fairfield sometime soon. So maybe we'll set it up. Would you be open to that?
Yes, I would.
Now we're going to close out the meeting with upcoming events and announcements. Please welcome Mr. Len Walter!